citations. I mentioned these earlier on, and these are another thing that's really important to get more eyeballs on your listing and get into that 3-pack. So citations are basically mentions of your business around the web. So let's say the Better Business Bureau, right? That is a website with a business directory. All kinds of businesses are listed in there. Whether you're a member of the BBB or not doesn't matter. They still list your business in there. So you want to make sure that what's in there is correct. It has to have a consistent name, address, and phone number on all these different platforms. So that's definitely a big piece of it. Let me drop this down so I can see here. Make sure that you don't have any duplicate entries. So just put your business in there once, not multiple times. That's definitely an important piece of this as well. All right, I saw a question come up and then it disappeared. Can you put that back up for me so I can see it? Sauce and Bash Productions, I like that. For some reason, my Google Maps location added a book online link that sends customers to a Thumbtack microsite. I can't seem to remove it without sending in a special request. That should be in the Google Business profile. Well, I guess you said you've tried to edit it and it won't let you update it. Yeah, it might be that the only thing you can do is put in a support request. We do a lot of support requests for them, and they take some time to get back to you. So if you have put one in, hopefully they'll get back to you soon and help you with that. If you can edit that and change it to, your website or a Calendly link or the Lead Boomerang software that we'll talk about here in a couple minutes, there are a lot of different ways that you can obviously send people to book online. But when it comes to it not being accessible and you have to change it, you're kind of stuck waiting on support. So wonder if you think this is good or bad, wondering if it hurt or helped to keep. 𝗠𝗟𝗦𝗧𝗘𝗥 Home Improvements is the name of the company. Okay, so that's the name of the company. It doesn't have the words window treatments in it, that kind of stuff, I think is where you're going with that. So not a huge deal. Prior to me starting the window treatment niche in 2018, I had what we call a generalist agency, and I had that for 20 years. And it was called Red Canoe Media. It was just a digital marketing firm, but it had nothing to do with red canoes. It had nothing to do with water or anything like that. And we got it to rank just fine. So I don't think that's a huge speed bump. I don't think that's that big of an issue. If you have a strong SEO presence, you've optimized your profile, that kind of stuff, it should be not really much of an issue at all. I wouldn't worry about that. Just get you in the right categories and stuff, and you should be fine with that. So great question. All right, let's see here. Here's a couple examples of citations that are probably familiar to a lot of you. A lot of these businesses have websites that you can list your business on. So definitely consider doing that. Here's a lot more. And, there's quite a few. Some of these still exist. Some of these don't even exist anymore. They come and go pretty quickly. The important thing here is to make sure that across the board, your name, address, and phone number are always the same, down to street versus ST, boulevard versus BLVD, that kind of stuff. Whatever format you choose to use, just always keep it the same on all of these different websites that you list your business on. Here's an example of one: New York City, NY City Blinds, window treatments, design, and home automations. Now, if you do a little search for them, go to their website, you can see the website button there. When you go to their website, their business name is actually just NY City Blinds. So that could get them in a lot of trouble by having this extra stuff in there. Quite honestly, a competitor could come along and flag this profile, as not correct, that kind of stuff. Not saying that would happen, but it does happen. Yeah, it does happen. So, and it could just be Google that, with this verification process that they're getting a lot more strict with, that they would come across this on their own and say, hey, send us a copy of your business license with the actual name, so that could happen as well. So just be careful. Whatever the name is, even if it's the 𝗠𝗟𝗧𝗘𝗥, put it up there as the way that you registered it with the government. Now, one place that you can use, or a couple places, couple tools that you can use to find citations. So find websites where I can go list my business and get Google's love for having that citation up there. WhiteSpark is a great one, whitespark.ca. They're in Canada. Moz Local is another good one. For us, we use one called Bright Local for all of our internal stuff for our clients. And Yext is another one that's fairly popular. You may have actually heard of. We settled on Bright Local because they do the best job in our opinion for what we are. So Bright Local is I think the link for that. So back end of Bright Local, one of the things that it lets us do is create these SEO reports. So you can actually go get one for free, wtmarketingpros.com/report. The report is fairly long and fairly extensive. They pull up your Google business profile and then give you, I guess, on quality of a lot of different things. Beyond just the Google business profile, you can also some local SEO thing happening in there, things like that. It'll check your citations. We do have a QR code. You can actually just shoot that QR code and it'll pop up the for you on your phone. You can just plug in your information right there, or you can just go to the website and do it, either one. But you'll get a nice list of all the different potential citations, what the name is of your business that see in there, what is the location, zip code, and phone number. So you can see all these things need to match. So in this first example here, bbb.org, the address is wrong. It's not, what is that, 740 Troy Road. In the first example there, the BBB only has city and state. So that's one that needs to be fixed, and that could be identified in Bright Local for you. So pretty cool. It gives you, like I said, looks at your reviews, gives you whether or not they can connect to those reviews, how many you have on that platform. You're typically ranking against some of the other competition you have in that town. And then it does do a little bit of on-site SEO stuff for your website as well. Pretty cool. wtmarketingpros.com/report is where you would go for that. When it comes to best practices, the absolute best practice is to manually claim and optimize your profile. You definitely have to do that first. Make sure that is exactly 100% filled out, anything you can fill out. And then use a tool like Bright Local, WhiteSpark, some of these other tools to find other citation opportunities. There's also on a lot of these platforms something called data aggregators. These are, I think there's 4 or maybe 5 of them that are huge. So there's these server farms, I guess, that have millions and millions of business names and information in there. And they could be correct, they could be wrong. And some of these other platforms like the Better Business Bureau, for example, might be pulling their data from those aggregators. So it's important to make sure those are up to date. So as they trickle down to all these other platforms, that information is being put correctly in the first place. So that's something you can do inside Bright Local as well. And then you can also use these platforms to find niche listing opportunities. I think I got a couple examples of these. Yeah. So your local Kiwanis, JCs, could also do a search on Google for whatever your city is, and then the words business directory. A lot of times there's local people who build these types of sites. You can sponsor events that have websites. If that event has a website and they list their sponsors in there along with a link back to you, that would be awesome. That's a great opportunity. Same for teams, charities, car washes, all that kind of stuff. Are a great opportunity for you to get additional citations. If you want a list of the top citation sites, this is 75. So right now we do, I think, around 230 of these for our clients. But here's a great jumpstart for you, 75 of them. wtmarketingpros.com/citations. Just put your information in there, grab that list. That will get you off to the races and get you started with building some citations. You could also obviously start with some of the major ones, your Google business profile, your Facebook profile, your Yelp profile, Better Business Bureau, some of these really popular ones that probably already has, but maybe don't know if they're correct or not. So anyway, grab that list.